this is gonna really get your blood boiling. This is really gonna get Tessie's blood boiling, because she's just the name alone is gonna spark probably half of you guys and my mother be like, oh! I watch an anime called Demon Slayer.
Scott!
Let me bring this up.
Don't get me started on Halloween, because I don't agree with Halloween.
I like Halloween to a certain extent. Like, I don't like the evil stuff, but I like, you know, ghosts and pumpkins.
That's dumb. I hear this.
So anytime I spend money, if I spend $100, I will give my wife equal amount.
That is really neat.
But, you know, because my wife is an amazing person.
Oh, is it on?
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Mother vs. Son podcast. For today's video, are you sick and tired of debt? Are you wondering how you're going to get out of debt? Well, my mother's here to tell her story. I'm going to go a little bit in a story and then go from there.
All right. Hi, I'm Scott. No, I'm Homestead Tessie, and
I am Scott from Scott's Honest Reviews.
And I am the mother.
And I am the monkey.
Yeah. He was adopted many years ago.
From the jungles of the rainforest.
There you go. Actually, you weren't adopted. I mean, I got my rolling pin because we are going to knock debt right out of the park.
Yeah, you tell them.
Art, stop saying things. I'm trying to think of an amazing product that can get us out of debt. Handgun underpants? No, bucket in a box. Spoon 2.0? Steak bedazzler? Oh!
Hey, you could almost use this as a baseball bat. Psh.
You use that for a lot of things.
Actually, I'm working on making some gingerbread men, so I'm going to work while we talk. That way, I can get two things done at once.
This is true.
Because I do have a YouTube channel, and I make a video every day, and, well, this is every day.
Yes, you can find that stuff on Homestead Tessie YouTube channel. By the way, don't forget to like that button, hit that like button, and subscribe.
Right now!
Yeah, do it right now. If you do it right now, you're going to get a gingerbread cookie.
For free. For free.
That's right. If you subscribe, you get a gingerbread cookie.
Hey! Didn't Mr. Beast say he was going to give free cookies or something for subscribers?
No, that's his thing. So
yeah, I thought that sounded
so Mr. Beast always says in his videos, if you don't subscribe, the earth is going to blow up, or he says stuff like that.
But didn't he years ago when he first started?
Well, no, he still has it. It says subscribe for a free cookie. A lot of people don't realize what he means by that.
Yeah, I don't know what he means by that.
Cookies are, so it's data.
Look at this graph.
So you know how in your web browser you have cookies?
Right.
So basically
Okay.
he's not lying when he says subscribe for a free cookie, because you're adding a cookie to your web browser data.
Oh yeah.
And it's called a
okay.
cookie. So he's good at what he does. So,
all right.
So do you want to start talking about money, or?
Ka-ching, ka-ching. Well, I guess I could start, because I share my story all the time on my channel, but I don't share it on here.
Yeah.
So I could tell you, back in 2007, we were house flippers. Yeah, we bought a house, we turned it upside down, we flip it around, and that's what we did. Oh, no, not really. But we were called house flippers, but we didn't actually take a house and flip it upside down. But
We're not Amish. We can't do that.
yeah, but we would buy and sell houses. So we would get them really cheap. We would make them like new, and then we'd resell them. Well, in 2007, the housing market crashed.
2008.
Well, it started for us in 2007.
Yeah, I guess.
The housing market crashed, leaving us with 3 houses that we were in debt with because we didn't have them fully paid for.
Well, and if you follow a lot of people like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and Robert Kowalski,
I don't care for him.
If you follow a lot of people like that, and okay,
we're going to be different on this one. I can tell you that already.
They believe, and you take as much debt as you can, max out your credit cards, max out your bank, max out your mortgage, max out everything. Take that money and then buy real estate with that money.
No.
Now, I know people who do that. They seem to be fine with it. Dave Ramsey did that, lost all of his money. He then came back and paid cash for everything. And now
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
That he lost his money when he did that.
It broke.
Yeah, he was 27 years old or something, and so he was doing that method. He was taking all debt, buying real estate. He had like $3 million worth of real estate, and the banks called their notes, which basically said you had 30 days to pay us back all your money. So when the banks called on that, he didn't have the money. So he said he spent the last 2 to 3 years selling everything he owned.
Okay.
They filed bankruptcy.
No way.
Yes, the only reason they survived is because they had assets. So they had some assets.
He filed bankruptcy.
Yeah, they filed bankruptcy.
I didn't know that.
And he said they were broke. They rented an apartment. They didn't have their own house anymore. They drove a hoopty.
Now, would he advise people to file bankruptcy?
No, if he can change
But he
it,
did.
no. He did because there was nothing left.
Okay.
They had there was no other option.
Okay.
And then he
interesting. I didn't
he
know
started
that.
paying cash for everything.
Yeah.
And then now he has a net worth of over $500 million in paid for. It's all paid for. There's no debt.
Right.
He hasn't had a credit score for 30 years.
No, dude, I told you I can't do that.
Because when you get rid of all credit, you lose your score.
Right.
And you can still buy a house with 0 credit. It's called underwriting. It's so much that I learned from him.
Oh, I didn't know any of
So
this.
anyway, so it depends on who you listen to, and I'm not going to argue either way.
I just don't. I like.
I'm going to turn this light so it doesn't face you as much.
Okay.
Because you don't like the light.
Are you gonna be able to get?
No, I'm good.
Scott,
I'm
you're gonna
Superman.
get yourself a hernia.
I'm Superman.
Well,
Oh, look, you're Superman. Woo!
I'm
okay.
Superman. I can fit
I
anywhere.
like Dave Ramsey. You need help there, Scott? We're getting.
Woohoo! I'm
You
good.
almost got castrated there. I like Dave Ramsey. I just don't like the rich dad, poor dad guy. He just irritates me.
Well, Dave Ramsey also bugs you too, doesn't he?
No, not really. No. Not as bad as the other guy.
Robert Kowalski.
Yeah, that other guy.
So
He
here's the
just
deal. I know people that use debt to do that, and I know people who don't. 99% of the people I know use debt to try and buy real estate. I don't personally believe in that anymore. And that's just because it's peace of mind.
Yeah, I know. Not in this day
Well,
and
the
age,
Bible
it's different.
says not to owe man anything.
Debt is like. Wait, what's the Bible say?
It's a slave. You're
Debt is like some hanging over.
yeah.
A noose around your neck. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Kenny.
Yeah.
Well,
So go. Yeah. So
anyhow, so
the
that left
mar-
us with 3 houses that would not sell because the market was crashed. And then over that time, I had a life-threatening condition. We didn't have any insurance, and that bill was close to $60,000. Well, I didn't want to downsize before all of this. I just didn't want to do it. And then finally, what happened was, when my health was really bad, I asked the Lord, I said, if He can get us out of this, I will sell everything that we own. I will agree to it, and we start over.
you basically do what Dave Ramsey did.
We sold
except-
everything that we owned that had any worth to it.
And see, this is what's very important. Because you had some assets to sell,
Yes.
you were able to
Yes.
to get out of it.
But those assets are what cost me money too.
Yes, but the goal is to accumulate
Right.
assets, but not with debt.
Right.
So buy stuff with your money, but don't ever use debt to do it.
Well, we
no
didn't
credit
have
cards, no loans.
We didn't have credit card debt on our lifestyle as far as clothing and stuff. We had credit card debt because of the business.
Exactly.
Mostly.
That's what most people
So, this was a humbling experience because we had newish vehicles. We sold them and got an old Chevy truck. So, 1 week we were driving this expensive vehicle. Then the next week we
Yeah.
were having this old Chevy truck. And then all of a sudden you start seeing how people react to you. And people would say when we would go to family get-togethers, oh my, why did you get rid of, you don't have that. People are not very...
Broke people try to keep up with the Joneses.
Well, the thing is
that.
this, and people are not very, they don't have empathy. So they don't have any empathy. So
No,
you
that's
learn
what-
real
yeah.
quick who your friends are and who your friends aren't. So we downsized everything, and then we decided I wanted to do some homesteading. And at that time, we moved into one of our homes that we fixed up right along a main road.
But I do want to point out, you've always been into homesteading, that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
I really liked it.
She's always done gardening and that stuff.
Yeah,
So
but I did it for hobby because, something for fun. Now I did it to survive.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have stuff. We
Yeah.
gave everything we had to paying off our debt. What we did was, it was a snowball effect. We took we took our least amount of debt, paid that first.
That's what Dave teaches.
Yeah.
Dave
And then we moved that money into the next one and into the next one. And I think it took us, Ken, do you remember? I thought it took us 7 years.
Something like that.
7 years, and we paid off over how much? $350,000 in 7 years, and that was, we weren't making big money either.
Yeah, and I want to point out, so there's two methods. You have the avalanche method of paying debt off, and then you have the snowball method. The avalanche method is you start from your highest interest debt, and you pay that off first, and then you work down. Dave Ramsey doesn't, and I believe it after the data, Dave Ramsey doesn't believe in the avalanche method because if debt was a mathematical problem, we wouldn't be in debt. It's a human problem. It's a psychological problem. We get in debt not because we're, the math says don't go in debt. Well, we get in debt because we're humans and we use emotion. So paying off the smallest debt first gives your body a win, a victory. If you have a $300 credit card and you pay that off right away, it's like, oh.
You feel good about
yourself. You feel good. Then you add that payment plus all your other money to your next lowest one.
It's a really good feeling, man.
Right.
A $3,000 bill, and then you get that paid off. It's like, oh my goodness, now we got a snowball effect. Now if you start paying on a $30,000 loan, you're paying for that for years, and it's like, oh, I feel like we're getting nowhere. You just relapse, and you relapse. You don't. So the snowball method is mathematically it would be correct to pay off debt the highest interest first. But if it was a mathematical problem, you wouldn't be in debt to begin with. It's not a math problem.
Well, yeah, and
it's a most urgent and serious problem.
Also,
it's a human problem.
And also, it gives you incentive when you start seeing, bill paid. It gives you incentive.
Yes, so, and if you keep the program and you keep applying that money, that payment, each payment to your other payments, it adds up.
Right.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. So, then we just learned how to do things,
More.
Yeah. Stay at home, cook from home, don't go out to eat as much. And, it gave us an incentive. And for us, though, you have to understand, too, is there's different kinds of debt. For us it was a business. So it was a business debt, and we did very well in the beginning. And some of it was not. Yeah. Some of it had nothing to do with us. It was the economy that we were in.
Well, there's always a mixture of both.
Right. So it wasn't like we were going on expensive vacations or I was buying ball gowns and we were going, we didn't do anything like that. It's just the economy.
Over-leveraged. You got over-leveraged, which is the same for all.
The first houses we sold, we did good profit.
Yeah.
Then we bought more houses and then more and then more. And so, and then And now everything is disclosed. So if somebody sees you bought a $20,000 house and put $50,000 in it, they only see, they only paid $20,000 for that house, and they think, that's over costing, when they don't realize all the time and the effort and the expense of fixing it up.
Yeah. Sorry guys, I'm tired.
So this here is from 1950s. Did you see this? I got it. And I stored it a long time ago. Isn't that kind of... Look at this, how they invented this.
Wouldn't that be annoying cleaning?
Yeah, but look at your table. You don't have no problem with your table. Like, you have no dirt. You have no mess.
I'd find that more annoying, though.
Great balls of tinsel, you can be annoying sometimes.
Because then you gotta clean that and the time it takes to clean that.
No, hot soapy water.
Well, see, that's why you're old-fashioned and I'm new age. I'm new age. So she's got a sippy coming.
I do.
She's got a sippy.
Oh, you didn't get yourself a new one?
No, that video is probably not out yet. It will be out. But what I do is I buy the biggest, tallest cup of coffee from Starbucks. I then normally drink about that much. And then another day I drink about that much. And then another day I drink about that much. So I convert it into 3. So I'm frugal, but I'm not.
That's frugal. I mean, it's better than
it's
not.
It's overpriced, but
it's something special,
Well, yeah, maybe not as much. I need to calm down. Speaking of money, I need to calm down on. I don't need an iced coffee every day. I gotta remember that.
Did you know that? I just cut her hand off. Did you know that we are on a $100 a week budget? And I've been doing that now for a month. And that's gas included.
I couldn't do that.
That's gas included. $100 a week. Did I say a month?
Yeah.
A week. $100 a week.
That's bad enough. I mean,
$100 a week, and that includes gas. That includes going to the grocery store.
Well, a lot of people are in that position. They have to.
Mom, Dad, how come there's suddenly no money?
Right.
They
and
need to.
it's very interesting because now I see where my money is going. And I realized in the past a lot of it was going online. And I don't buy anything online anymore.
Well, a lot of people need a hard budget.
Right.
If people had the problem with budgets are it exposes what you're doing and people don't like that, so,
Right,
so
no,
they
it's
get off
not
track.
fun. I mean, it's
Well,
not fun.
It's not fun seeing.
Except for, I shouldn't say it's not fun because it is a challenge to see.
Well, it's fun, but for the people that don't want to be convicted, it's not.
Well,
fun.
no, right.
Because some people just don't want. They don't want to know. They know that they're losing their money.
Right.
Did you know most people that call Dave Ramsey make over $100,000 and they're broke? I have noticed people are broke making $100,000 a year in this world.
Well, your father listened to a broker guy, and he said that everyone has to earn $100,000 a year to live. And I don't agree with him. Dad agreed with him, but I don't agree with him. I don't think you have to have $100,000 a year to live.
No, I don't.
Now, maybe if you had children. I mean, there are a lot of people who don't have $100,000 a year.
The problem is people get stuck before they get smart.
Well, and the thing is, the more you make, the more you spend.
Yes, that is true. That's 100%.
I mean, not everybody. I'm saying that's the problem.
That's the bulk for most people. The more you make, the more you spend.
Right.
That's,
well, sure.
That's.
When I was making money on Amazon, and I was spending money on Amazon.
Oh yeah, I spend a lot of money.
I'm not making as much, so I'm not spending as much, but I really did kind of learn my lesson.
He should be here.
He is.
Oh, you saw him.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we'll just get right back to it in 1 second.
We'll get back to Scott spends more money than he should. But
and Tessie's still on her 100 a week challenge.
What do you think Scott spends his money on?
I don't know. I guess you put the chocolate chips on before you bake them. I tried it after and it didn't really work very well. So I don't know.
So, ow.
So Scott.
There's a leg post there.
So you still believe that you spend money to make money?
Yes.
I don't believe in that.
For some parts. Well, I mean, I proved it right. When I first started my business, I spent over $10,000 up front without any guarantee. I had nobody saying that you're gonna make money. Nobody telling me nothing. Because when it came out, I was one of the first people to get involved with the program.
Right.
So there was nobody. I put a $10,000 bet on myself. I gambled myself.
Yeah.
And it proved to work out. And it's not to say what people have to understand about me is I make a lot of money, but I'm broke. And what I mean by that is I make a lot of money, but 80% of my money goes back into my business.
Right.
I don't make a lot of money. I make a lot of money, but I don't make a lot of money.
Right.
Like, I'm not out there buying these fancy cars and stuff.
So at the end of the day, you don't have nothing.
Yes, and that's my choice.
Right.
I could, but then I would make less. So here's the thing. When it comes to business, you need to invest in your business. You also need to, so in the beginning, you need to go full force, invest most of your money into your business to get it running. Once you have it up and running, you need to transition. This is where it's hard because you're so focused on getting ahead. So when you first start a business, your whole focus needs to be in it. You need to invest all your money into it. Once it's established, then you need to balance. You need to save, spend on all different stuff.
Right.
And the balance is the hard part because you're used to spending.
Right.
So I'm at that point where I was established, so I need to now balance better. But here's the thing. The more I spend on the business, the more I can make, but the more I spend, the less I make. So I'm spending more, I'm making more, I'm making less, I'm spending more. So if I would cut back and spend less, I would make less, but I would probably pocket a little bit more because I'm not spending as much because I'm already established.
So it's a play on words.
It's a game.
You're playing on words.
Yes, it's a game.
You're a smart guy. Clearly picked up some flashy tricks, but you made one crucial mistake. You forgot about the essence of the game.
It's a whole game. Like having your.
But maybe you just don't want to be part of that game anymore. Because
that's you. You're I'm
just not. But I'm a girl.
And I'm an entrepreneur.
Yes, but
I am very driven by getting ahead in the next thing.
Some of this stuff though can be a boy-girl thing.
Yes.
Women think different than men. Your wife.
There's some women out there that.
Right, but your wife would be a little more like me. She would. She would say what I would say.
my wife would say, less boxes in the house, the better.
Right. Less spending, the better.
Yeah.
Because let's talk about your wife for a second, because people are very fascinated about our loved ones. Your wife.
You mean my multiple wives?
Scott, we're not going.
We
into
were
that
joking
again. Yes.
People thought it was funny. No one took it seriously.
No, of course not.
Of course not.
No.
Anyway.
No, the question is, did she or did she not? Doesn't she have like birthday or Christmas money yet?
Oh, probably from her. Yeah. Still in a little box, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she still has from what, like 5 years ago, maybe?
Yes.
You're kidding me.
No.
5 years.
So,
I thought it was only a year.
No, my wife still has birthday money in a box from 5+ years ago.
Okay.
Well, her grandfather, when he was alive, he used to give you money for good grade or something?
Yeah.
So he would give her money for good grades, and she wouldn't spend it. He would always say, you need to spend your moldy money.
Right.
Which is, it's...
So, to her...
She's a saver.
Yeah, to her, she has more enjoyment having it in the box, or she would spend it.
Well, I think both. She has balance.
Right.
She has perfect balance. She enjoys spending money on, stuff that she likes. But she's not going out there and
and she's not just spending money for the sake of spending, because we went to Goodwill the other week, and she didn't buy anything.
Yeah.
So she doesn't. So
but
she.
No, if she's
so she doesn't just spend just the fact that, well, I'm in here, I gotta spend because I'm in here. No, that's amazing.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
She's amazing, right?
Oh well, I couldn't do my business without her.
Right. Right.
Even though my wife, she doesn't do anything with the business. Right. I couldn't have done it without her because she's not spending the business's money.
And that's how your grandma, my mom was. My mom didn't spend a cent.
And that's how you get ahead.
And if my mom would have been a spender, no way my dad would have had the money that he had.
you need if you're gonna have a spender, you need to have only one spender in the family. You can't if you have two spenders, you're just done.
Well,
you're done.
Right.
Because for example, if I'm spending money on the business and all of it, but my wife's always like every day going out getting her nails done, her hair done, and there's no money, well then there's no money for the business, there's no money to make money, so it's like, okay, just add debt, pile it up.
Or I know of a family, of a husband and wife, where if he would spend money, she'd get mad, and then she would just spend money out of spite.
You know what I started doing?
That was crazy. She used to always do that.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Like, if he spent money and she didn't like it, she'd be like, well, okay.
Well, we know people like that have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's horrible. Like, out of spite. What I started doing now is, anytime I spend money, I put...
Yeah, this is neat. You gotta hear this.
So anytime I spend money, if I spend $100, I will give my wife equal amount.
That is really neat.
But, because my wife is an amazing person, she would, use that money for house projects, for vacations and stuff like that, and stuff she likes.
That is neat.
It's not like I spend $100 and then she instantly goes out and spends $100. No, she actually lets it build up.
Right.
And so, yeah, and here's another thing that I think gets coupled, and I had this mindset in the beginning too. I thought, I make more money, I should be able to spend more money.
Well, yeah.
I thought that because, well, if I'm making more than my wife, I should be able to spend a little bit more, right?
Give me 1 second.
Well, that's not how you should have a marriage. So, to fix that issue, and I came up with this. My wife probably didn't even care. I mean, a lot of times she says I don't have to give her, equal amount, but I do it because I view it as I make this money. We make it. It's our money. Everything is ours. So I believe that everybody should have the same bank accounts. Everybody should be on the same page. But it's hard to get there. So when I spend money, I give it to my wife, and she can use it for vacation or house projects and stuff like that. And that, number one, keeps me from spending too much, because basically if I'm going to buy something, it now costs me double the amount of money. So if I'm going to buy something that I really want, let's say I buy a phone for $900, a new phone. Well, that phone's going to cost me $1,800 now because I'm paying $900 and I'm giving my wife $900. So then it makes me rethink a little bit. Can we afford it? Double payments. So yeah, that's something that I do, and a lot of my friends are like, oh, bro, I can't do that. I couldn't do that, and I just think it's equal. I don't think you should. I think no matter what someone is paid, you should be equal in your house. It doesn't matter who makes more or not. It doesn't matter. You're married. You're one.
Right. I was going to say, it's always his this, her that.
Yes, that's stupid.
We're not really supposed to look at it like that.
To
a certain extent.
Yeah, we say, my wife's car and this is my
Yeah,
Jeep,
but I mean...
But it's ours. Like...
Right.
And that's how it's supposed to be.
Right.
It's not supposed to be separate. Now, I do want to point this out. There are some women out there and some men out there that's like, well, if my wife had my bank account, we would have nothing. And we would be so far in debt that we would have to file bankruptcy.
Right.
So you need to work with your spouse. Like if your spouse is a massive spender and racks up debt, that's different. I'm not saying go out and join an account right away. I'm saying you should, but you need to sit down and you need to get your stuff under control because two become one. And I think God truly can really bless people when you become one.
Right.
So yeah. I went over this a little bit. I don't know if I posted the video or not yet, but my wife and I paid off our house.
Right.
We were debt free, completely.
Right.
I do have some business debt still because I invest a lot of times. Certain holidays I invest a lot more into my business to get to the hype. Well, I invested a lot. Basically, I made nothing this year. Because I took a risk and I took a gamble with Amazon and invest a lot of money. And the problem was Amazon cut our legs off.
Yep.
Amazon cut our revenue for like 2-3 weeks by 80%.
Yep.
And that was unexpected. The last 4 months are supposed to be the best months ever on Amazon. Everything was projected to be the best ever. I was going to make more money than I did last year and everything. So I spent more money prepping for the holidays and Amazon's like, okay, goodbye. So they took a lot of the revenue, they brought it back, and now they play their games where every other day they're taking half of our revenue, the next day they're making it high, the next couple days it's okay.
But you did say...
It's a game.
Be prepared because in social media and anything like that, you can have...
But it's hard to follow your own...
Right, but you did say you don't...
Yes.
You're supposed to put, like you always said, you're supposed to put your eggs in different baskets.
Yes, so my eggs are in more baskets.
And mine is too now. Mine is too. Because a company reached out to me and asked me if I would do a couple reviews on my channel.
Yeah.
One was a book, and then they paid me a little for it. Not much, but it was a little bit, and that, helped me out.
Yeah, so the point, I do have some business debt, that would all have been paid back off because I was planning on it within 1 month. But it's like Amazon cut us off, so it's like so now I got to be more strategic. Now it's got to be like, okay, I got to build up this 3 to 6 months of expenses and save.
When you're working with social media, you just never know. You can't count on anything.
Yeah. Well, the problem is I notice when I post anything Christian or anything like that, they somehow somewhere they get me hard.
Right.
Like when I start posting, I don't know if it's Satan's working and doing something. It just seems to work that way.
Right.
The more I post good stuff, the more something happens on my social medias. But if I'm not posting anything like that, nothing seems to happen. It's like, but whatever. Tomatoes, tomatoes. It's all, it's all a little
bit full of crap, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm birthing a baby. A little bit full of crap.
Yeah, so my wife and I paid off our house, and we're pretty much debt. I mean, besides the business debt, which is not that crazy amount. It's But I make a lot of money, but I don't. So that's my choice. I like to reinvest in assets. I like having so yeah, not out here living the great life. I mean, I got my sippies, so that's good.
You know what? I'm having a zero-cost Christmas this year, as far as decorations and making stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've reviewed a lot of stuff that we don't need it. We don't need to go and buy new decorations. We have plenty of stuff.
Right.
Most people do not need to go out and buy new decorations. To be honest with you,
I
know that's going to hurt a lot of people.
I just can't believe how much out
I want to punch you in the face so bad right now.
there.
Well,
It's just,
do you know how much Halloween was a record spending?
that's just ridiculous.
Let me bring this up.
Don't get me started on Halloween because I don't agree with Halloween.
I like Halloween to a certain extent. Like, I don't like the evil stuff, but I like, ghosts and pumpkins.
That's dumb.
Well, I like...
Ghosts are dumb and skeletons.
Yeah,
That's what you're doing is you're worshiping death.
No, you're not worshiping death. If we get into
So what?
Christmas is a pagan holiday.
I understand that, but
Easter's a pagan holiday.
Yes, I understand that. That's got to be another podcast. Let's do that.
They're all pagan holidays.
I understand that, but I'm not. I understand that, but
skeletons,
But it is Christ's birth. We're celebrating something good.
On Christmas.
Tell me what's good about Halloween. What are we celebrating that's good?
Well, the original Halloween was because kids were naughty and they were burning down buildings.
Mm-hmm.
So what they did was they convinced kids to do trick or treat instead, and they turned it into a game.
So if they give them a treat, they won't do a trick then.
Yeah, that's basically what it came to. Because and then it stems even deeper to witchcraft.
Well, yeah.
But
All Hallows Eve.
Yeah, that's all of our holidays. Like Easter is the goddess of fertility.
Yeah, I understand that.
We just what people don't understand is, and we don't need to really get too much into it because a lot of people believe that Jesus was born on Christmas.
No, he was actually born in the summertime, wasn't he? They think
not the summer. It was somewhere between summer and winter.
Right.
Is his actual?
Right.
It's not December.
Well, with my Christmas, though, I don't do anything with Santa Claus and stuff. It's like woodland and.
But see, I don't have any problem with that as long as you're doing it.
Yeah, I understand.
Like this.
But Halloween, I don't see anything good about Halloween.
I like it. I like
fall, pumpkins.
But I like the spookiness. I like the spookiness.
But spooky's not good.
Why?
Because it comes from spooky is bad.
Why? Why is it bad? Because that's what we were taught?
Well, spooky stuff is ghosts and goblins.
But if you walk,
evil stuff.
Yeah, but if you would walk outside in the middle of the night, that's spooky. So is that evil outside at night?
Yeah, but you're putting skeletons.
Yeah, but that's our bodies. We're human. We're skeletons. So that means our inner body is evil.
Okay, I won't win with this one.
Well, no, because we're skeleton. We are God made our bodies out of skeleton.
But then you have the Grim Reaper and horror shows.
But the Grim Reaper's in the Bible. Like the death. Death is in the Bible.
Yeah, but you don't celebrate it.
Well, okay, if you celebrate it.
You're not celebrating the death.
Yeah, but
you're supposed, and Jesus died on the cross, but he resurrected from it. We celebrate the resurrection, and that is Easter, not the bunnies.
Yes,
not that.
But the bunnies and stuff was before that. The celebration was before that.
I know that, but we celebrate his life. We don't celebrate
but
death.
if you're celebrating,
you don't worship the dead.
But if you're celebrating Halloween, but you're not celebrating the evil part of it, is that not the same? You're just masking over what it is, what it really is.
Well, what part of it are you celebrating? Are you celebrating
trick-or-treaters?
No, that's
dressed in costumes. We had like 20 people that came at once, and we give them candy. You tell me that's evil? Kids shouldn't be doing that?
Well, we were allowed to. We were, but
you guys never did it for us as kids.
I thought you dressed like Bible creatures.
Nope. No. You never let us do trick or treating or any of that.
I don't know about that. There's a lot of things you don't know. It's a personal interpretation of everything. Everything is a personal interpretation. What we said today is a personal interpretation.
It's based off of everyone's
You like
opinion.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
I don't
care for him. He bothers me.
Like him as much since I followed Dave Ramsey.
He bothers me.
I understand the dead idea. I understand
but he just thinks he's all that and the way he acts.
Well, for the last 20 years, he says the world's ending. I mean, I like him. Okay. I'm not into these drama people that say, this is your only option. He acts like getting debt and gold and silver and all that is your only option.
He makes his money on writing books.
Well, and oil now. He has oil fields and everything. And in real estate.
That's a little bit like John Hagee. We could go into that. So John Hagee, I loved John Hagee, but I don't care for John Hagee anymore. And I'll tell you why. Because John Hagee talks about the end times and about, Christ coming. But then he gives out dates. And he said, so many times he said the exact date when Jesus was coming back, and Jesus didn't come back. And he does it to sell his books. Now, here's my theory. If you were a prophet and you really believed what you were saying, why would you sell your books? Why wouldn't you give your books? Because if Jesus is coming back, it won't matter.
Well, exactly. Yeah, that's ridiculous. If he's really coming back in a year or 2 or 5, what is your money?
Yeah, right. Why would you sell
do?
stuff? So I don't. Yeah.
Well, that's like prosperity preachers. That all they do is they preach.
I don't know if he's some. I guess he probably is.
Well, I'm gonna step on some toes right now and say Joel Osteen is a bad guy.
Well, there's New Age.
It's prosperity. Joel Osteen teaches that you know, that if as long as you believe in God, good things are only going to come your way. And
well, no, because the Bible doesn't teach that.
No,
so,
no,
you
it
know,
actually
the Bible
says.
teaches that.
Well, we're not going to get into
right,
that. That's
right.
kind of like the Oprah. We don't, you know.
Well, I didn't know that was.
Well, most people agree with you.
I didn't know that
You know
was
what? The
controversial.
people that are following us normally agree with us.
I didn't know that was. I didn't know she was controversial.
Well,
Controversial.
Controversial.
I said, and they know me. They know I'm a little bit naive. Like, woohoo.
In 2022, Americans spent $10.6 billion on Halloween.
What good did that do out of it?
Well, it's just people look for stuff to do. Let's see Christmas.
Well, I understand.
Well, you know, you can't say you understand Christmas because Santa Claus.
Yes, but I don't have. When I say I celebrate Christmas,
This just says.
But Santa Claus, okay. Santa Claus was a real person.
Well,
did you know that?
Yeah, Saint Nick. Yeah.
Right, but we don't celebrate him as far as we
Well, a
don't
lot of
worship
people do.
him.
Yeah, but I'm not worshiping Halloween ghosts and stuff. So it's no different. I'm not worshiping the skeletons if I put them out.
If you think there's a difference, write in the comments below. Help me out on this because there is a
well,
difference.
most people are going to agree with you because they're older. Younger people are going to agree with me because there's no harm in it.
So basically, you're saying in the next 50 years, when all the old people are dead, all the new people, all the young people will be. So everything's going to be.
Yes, but then
there will be no.
But then there's going to be something newer out that people my age are going to say, well, that's bad, and they're going
There'll
to
be
say.
no traditions then.
Do you understand? Christmas is not that old of a tradition.
I understand that. It's
you
it's the church, right? I understand that.
No, it's less than that.
Yeah, I know. It's from the Victorian age. Queen Victoria had a tree. I've been studying it.
Well, yeah, here. So the Church of Rome began celebrating it on December 25th in the 4th century. Mm-hmm. So I guess it was pretty old.
Yeah, but Queen Victoria had a tree, and then everybody wanted to have a tree because she had a tree. And I mean, even in the 1800s, they had Christmas.
So it was a festival. It was just
Festival of Lights, wasn't it?
Yeah, you're right. Queen Victoria.
Yeah.
And their 9 children played a big part in the changes of it.
Right.
Christmas was not actually a law. Like the Christmas wasn't official until 1870 when Congress passed a day saying it's Christmas.
I understand that things aren't always started out as evil, and then people make it evil.
Well, here's the thing.
I mean, we could really get into it. Like the rainbow is God's sign, and then it was turned into something.
Evil there's things that start out evil, and then we convert it to good, and there's things that start out good that are converted to evil.
Right, yeah,
What do you do?
I guess it's like the Bible says, you're supposed to love the sinner but hate the sin. So you're supposed to love the holiday but hate the, don't like the part of the holiday.
I like what someone said about the Pokemon. If it's not convicted in my heart, then
there you go.
And I see nothing wrong with Halloween as far as now.
If you're not convicted of it, that's right.
Now, I don't put out like demonic stuff. I am very against anything that is evil. Like for example, like
Ouija boards and
that's just blasphemy. Ouija boards,
and spirit cards and
that's blasphemy, and that's in the Bible. That's blasphemy.
And, spells and
yes, witchcraft. Now, witchcraft and that stuff. Now, like Harry Potter and that stuff. I know I don't have any issues, but
we're not getting into that now.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I grew up and I loved Harry Potter. Am I an evil person today?
No, but evilness can have a foothold into your life, and you don't know where that foothold comes from.
But you cannot keep evilness out of your life.
I know, but you can.
You can.
Yes, but
you open your phone. There's evil.
But you can make a decision if you're going to accept it.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing when people start getting on video games, saying video games are going to make kids go psycho.
Well, some do.
Yeah, but so does people sitting in a classroom 8 hours a day being told what to do when they don't want to.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm saying though,
people.
I'm saying though, with these Harry Potter videos, they make it light by the magic stuff, and they make light of it when actually there are witches who really believe in that, and that they actually
and that's their conviction with God. That's you can't compare a Satanist to someone watching Harry Potter. You cannot do that.
No, but I'm saying you're allowing a foothold of that to get into your life.
No, you're only allowing it if you actually practice it. If you're
I don't know about that.
So the Bible says you don't sin until it's conceived.
Okay.
And it births death.
Okay.
So if you think of a lustful thing, but you cut it out of your mind,
Okay.
you don't conceive the sin.
So you go to a nudie bar and you sit there and you're not doing anything with the nudie people.
No, yeah, but that's
No, you're seeing it, so you're allowed a foothold, even though you may not do anything sinful.
that's a little different because that's a pretty big
But if
sin.
you're sitting and you're
specifically.
watching something where they're casting spells on people and they're doing spells and magical stuff and you're watching that, of course that's going to get into your spirit.
I disagree. So then why am I not a Satanist and an evil person when I love Pokemon? I love Harry
You're
Potter.
not practicing it, but I'm saying though it could be a foothold for Satan and to use that as.
But then I think inside that person's already something pretty bad.
Well, not necessarily. I'm saying that.
I think no.
I'm saying that
if someone lets Harry Potter or something like that turn them into that Satanist, then they're already got
No,
issues.
I'm not saying it's going to turn them into Satanists, but I'm saying no. We live in a spirit world, so if you are.
But is not watching gossip or anything or like people
Yes!
commenting is
Yes!
that not bad?
Yes.
But you can't. But it's life.
I had a problem that I would look on that gossip forum, and it got in my spirit, and I kept saying, "Oh, this isn't going to bother me because it was hell there."
But if it doesn't,
and what did Jesus tell me?
But it doesn't get in everyone's spirit, though.
Yes, it does. Eventually, it will.
I disagree strongly.
Jesus. I had a vision.
But that's you. It affected you. I'm not affected by trolls.
But I'm saying,
never have been.
I'm saying though, in my vision, I was going into the gossip forum. They're online. You all know what I'm talking about.
But that's you.
And Jesus said to me, "I'm taking my ladder in hell and I'm bringing it back out."
Yes, but that's you.
Right.
I'm not convicted the same way as you are
But if
because
you would
I don't
feed yourself on that, I'm telling you right
disagree.
now. I'm telling you right now. The people that are on that forum.
Oh yeah, they're evil.
They become more evil and more evil
Yes,
and more evil because that's where they're around.
Yeah,
you
well,
become what you're. Right.
Yes, but it's not true. Only if you are someone who can be coerced. I could look at that and not think twice of it, but you let it get to you.
But it would make a little anger in you.
No, it doesn't.
It could though if you would dwell on that and look at it every day.
But see, I don't see. There's where we're gonna disagree strongly. I don't dwell on that stuff because I don't let stuff affect me.
But if it's about you and eventually it would.
What, Mom? I've been on YouTube since
Nobody
2009.
likes being talked about in a bad way.
Everyone talks bad about me.
Yeah.
No, everybody close.
Well, everybody talks
and I
about
don't
me.
care.
Everybody talks
because
about me
I know
too.
my firm foundation is in Christ. I don't care.
Right.
So when I watch Harry Potter, I'm not casting spells. I'm not believing in witchcraft because I know it's fake.
Yeah.
Well, it's real as far as the evil world goes. But it's just I don't sit there and say, "Oh, this is so." I'm going to start practicing.
No, but your conscience may be seared a little bit to the point where you may see something else. Then, okay, case in point. Case in point.
You're not going to win with.
Back in the 1950s and 60s and 70s, there was the Twilight Zone. There was.
Yeah, you watched that? Did it make you demonic? No.
No, but it made me just listen.
Well,
that was so shocking in that day and age because nowadays we see so much horror videos and horror movies.
Is that Misty?
That show. Horror movies.
They get a new car.
No, she always had that.
The white one?
Yeah, horror
Silver.
movies. So when we look at that, we think it's funny. We are conditioned to the environment that we're in, and the more conditioned and the more things that we see that are shocking, the more we get used to it.
But I do think some people. Hi, Sean.
Hi, Sippy's here.
Yeah, it's somewhere. I do think though some people are more easily convinced.
Correct.
I'm not.
Correct.
I'm not.
Well, you're a boy. It doesn't bother me now, but I know I don't go there.
But see, I could go there.
There may be something else that you maybe need to shelter yourself from seeing or doing that I wouldn't have to. We all have our own temptations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying see that's opposite. That's different.
No, I was tempted in looking about myself, and it was a detrimental thing. It was a temptation.
Yeah.
And like Prepper Princess, my friend said, she said, you got to stay away from stuff like that.
Well,
and
I
after a
told
while,
you that years ago.
right? And she said, after a while, it will be like a bad habit and it goes away. And now I could care less. I don't need to look at it. I haven't looked at it in 6 months. I don't care.
Well, it's funny.
What they say about me is none of my business.
I know, but that's going off.
But to me, that was a temptation.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
But it's not about temptation. It's.
Right,
I don't.
but it can go into a temptation.
I can watch a bad movie and it doesn't make me want to go out and be bad.
Right, yeah,
Like-
right, but
Like to me, I know in my mind instantly as I watch something I know. Like we'll watch like true crime.
well, yeah.
Two crimes. So does that make me want to like oh
No,
I gotta be
no.
like,
but
we'll watch like TVs like Blue Blood where there's
yeah,
like serial killers
I can't
and
watch
stuff.
that because
and
I'm
we're-
a sensitive spirit.
and I'm not like
Right. So we do
Yeah.
have we
Yeah.
all have our own convictions. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what may not bother me will not bother you, and what may bother you, being a boy, may not bother
that's
me.
why that comment was perfect. If it's not convicted
Right,
in your soul,
right.
then it's not bad
I was
for you.
convicted, yes, because that's
Yes,
what was
when you're
doing to me.
convicted of something, yes. You like my straw?
I was like, wait, what is that thing?
It's pure silver.
Oh.
So it's my pure silver straw.
I'm like, what in the world?
So
is
I
that thing?
don't like using plastic straws.
So this is what it is, a podcast,
yes,
people. This
we
is
disagree.
it. This is
It's
just
our
all
opinions.
different thoughts and feelings and how we share things. I will say this, and we'll end it with this. I think we're probably at an hour.
No, we're not even near.
With shutting it off?
Probably not even near.
Of course we are. We're shutting it off.
Well, we don't have to have it super long.
I will say this though, because of this podcast, it has really strengthened me, and I am really able to share more
Because
than I
you-
have. Yeah, because it's given
because you're
me
exposed to something, so you're building.
because it's given me an outlet to express myself.
Is there anything you want to express that's been on your mind for the week that you just want to get off?
I've expressed it, I think the one thing is I had a troll that kept trying to send me emails, and I'm sure she watches this because I know she's part of that group. There's a group of people that, and the thing is this, in my videos I share my daily life.
Kitty boy!
Coffee time.
Oh, it is coffee time.
I share my life, and I share things. Sometimes things don't work, ideas don't work. It's a challenge for me, and I share my life, and
Well,
take it or leave
yeah.
it. If you don't like it, leave it. I'm not going to, entertain you, and, I don't entertain the trolls, and that was one thing that I think Scotty has taught me, and people in here is
yeah, for
you
years.
cannot entertain trolls or mean people or mean comments.
They're going to be who they are.
Right.
And
so you take it or leave it, and I'm happy, and I'm doing really well, and I'm excited, and I love this podcast because it lets us share our life.
Yeah.
And I know the people that watch this podcast that interact with us.
Well, it's strong opinions, just like
Right. And I have strong opinions. It's just I tone it down.
I think people thought in the beginning that we would agree with more stuff. As we go on, there's things that we're hard set, like
Right.
Harry Potter, Pokemon. That's I'm
I'm
hard
the old
set.
generation.
Yeah.
You gotta understand, Scott, there's so many things at play in this. It's the generations, it's the female versus male ideas.
Well, yeah.
A lot of it,
We
I
are
realized.
different.
I saw a video where a woman was talking about her husband, and it's like, oh my word, my husband's the same way. Sometimes it's a man thing, and sometimes it's a woman thing.
And sometimes it's just
generational thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a personal thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that make up our ideas. Some of it is how we were born. Some of it's how we were raised. Some of it's how we are.
And just things that we've experienced in our life.
And some of it's things that we experienced.
Yeah.
Yes.
And nobody can live someone else's life.
Correct.
Because we all have different
Correct.
experiences.
Right.
Like someone did a perfect example. You can take two people going to the same
Mm-hmm.
concert, having the same experience, but each one's going to walk away with a different experience. Because they perceive the music, the crowd,
I'll
everything.
take this even further. You can have 2 people, you can have 20 people read the same scripture.
Oh, yes.
And come up with a different what it means to them.
Well, yeah, there's people that don't take the Bible literate.
Right.
Like, is that right? Literally.
Literally.
You can tell we're related.
Yeah.
Literally.
Literally.
And there's people that take word for word for word.
Right.
I probably fall closer to the word for word.
Right.
And at the end of the day, it doesn't really truly matter as long as you believe in Yeshua
Right.
with your whole heart.
Right.
Jesus, you believe in Jesus with your
Right.
whole heart. You believe he died for our sins.
Right.
That Yahweh sent him.
Right.
And that we only through his forgiveness we can get saved.
Right.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
It's interpretation.
Yes. At the end.
And that's the thing with religion comes into effect.
Yeah.
And we don't talk about religion, but it's the interpretation. It's the Amish. It's the Mennonite. Menno Simons. It was the interpretation.
Yes.
And so that kind of comes into all of this because it's all in your perception and your understanding with all of this. So we will not agree on things a lot. We don't agree on a lot of things, actually.
Yeah, like to me, when bringing this up. When I watch Harry Potter, it's good versus evil. In Harry Potter he's good against the evil.
Right.
And at the end, he defeats the evil.
Right.
At the end.
Right.
To me, I see it as good and evil.
Right.
Just like Narnia was good versus evil.
And that
just
was
like a lot.
C.S. Lewis wrote that.
I believe so. There's so much good and evil.
Well,
and
he
stuff.
wrote
For example,
Pilgrim's Progress.
For example, this is gonna really get your blood boiling. This is really gonna get Tessie's blood boiling because she's just the name alone is gonna spark probably half of you guys and my mother would be like, oh. I watch an anime called Demon Slayer.
Scott!
Know this. If you bare your fangs at the innocent, you will see your bone turn to ash with my bright red flame blade!
It's about these group of Japanese like swordsmen, and they defeat demons. They kill them.
Well, I mean,
it's good versus evil, and I love that. I love good versus evil stuff.
Well, yeah, if it's good versus evil.
So it's called Demon Slayer. Right. So they're slaying demons.
The word demon is not bad. The word demon is in the Bible. There is demons.
Yeah.
I mean, whether people like it or not, there are. And there's evil spirits.
It's one of my favorite animes.
Right.
Do I agree with everything that it's shown in it? No. Do I like some of the swearing? No. Do I like some of the stuff? No. But you know what? At the end of the day...
Right. It's what somebody said. It's your conviction.
Yeah.
It's a personal relationship with Jesus.
If someone says in their mind, oh, you're going to hell because of that, you're judging me based off of what you're hearing, but not my
Or you're
heart.
not a Christian because you said the word stupid. Or you're not a Christian. You're not a homesteader because you got rid of your chicken. You know, it's just...
Or you watch one bad thing. You listen to the one bad thing. You do... You dripped a little bit. You do something bad, and that's it.
Right.
Well, I'm sorry, but if we were so perfect like those... if we were so perfect like the people that say the things that...
Right.
Then why would we need Jesus?
Well, Jesus said,
we wouldn't need Jesus.
He who is without sin, cast the first stone.
Yeah. Nobody.
So, right. And Jesus' right-hand man was David.
Well, yeah.
I mean, he repented of everything, but
he had to lose his
child. He wasn't a
good
person to start.
No,
like, I mean,
no.
Saul.
And do you know who? So you mean God? David was God.
Right.
You said Jesus.
Right. God's
Jesus' right-hand man was Paul. I mean, not Paul. Was John.
Right.
The one who denied him 3 times.
That was Paul.
No, that was...
Paul denied Jesus 3 times.
Paul was the one that crucified the Christians. Paul's the one that wrote a lot of their books. It was John that...
Look it up.
Paul,
who denied Jesus 3 times?
Paul was Saul.
Yeah, but who... Look it up.
I think so. Yeah, Saul...
Who denied Jesus 3 times?
No, Peter.
Yes, Peter.
It was Peter. Sorry, not John. Peter.
I was like, wait a minute, you're not right.
But Peter, Peter was often talked about as being close.
Right.
Peter, I believe it was Peter that was the one that walked out on the water to go to Jesus in the storm.
Who was the one that Jesus said, can you not tarry for just one night? They fell asleep when they
it was Peter and a couple of them.
Right.
But yet he was always with him. He was... Right. You know, Peter said.
Right.
So yeah. Okay. Well, guys, thank you for watching.
Looks good.
We didn't even get to any of these. We will.
And you know what? You're welcome to chime in. This is not a he versus she.
As long as you chime in and you're not, trolling.
And you're not attacking others.
Yeah, for example, if you think Harry Potter is wicked, you can comment and say, I think Harry Potter is very evil. I'm with Tessie. That's fine. But if you say, Scott, you're going to hell because you even mentioned magic, you're going to hell, and then I think you should. People. Well, I think you should probably pull the log out of your own eye.
They're my people.
So
they'll be kind.
Yeah.